and I like to keep my sleep schedule. Going back to schedule. So would you say the movie would have also had a strong impact if it transitioned from a really dark movie to a comedy, or is there only certain directions a movie can go?
It would, because there's never been something like that gets from a dark plot to a comedy. That I can't recall any movie that has ever done that.
Yeah.
Neither has neither the other way around. Parasite was probably the first one who has made it that who has made it that way, or has made it that brilliantly, or this
Yeah.
And what was your question again?
My question was about the direction of tone shifts, whether all of those are
right.
So I'll say that, in my opinion, they're an important tool in order to get a good movie. They're not necessary to be a good movie, a tone shift.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree?
Right. It depends on how it's how well it's made, or how well it's put into the movie. I don't know. It strongly depends.
Yes.
Because Parasite does it in a really discreet and discreet way, and sometimes it's just way too obvious, and that doesn't affect me at all.
I got you. Would you also describe Parasite as a highly realistic movie?
No, right. Considering the end, absolutely not.
Okay.
But the topic it touches on, and just the actual plot, South Korean society, rich versus poor, how do they get along? How is the situation there? Absolutely, but considering the genre, probably not. I don't know. I can't think of any event like that.
Okay.
In real life.
Yeah, I can't do it. It might have happened.
I mean, you haven't seen the movie, I think.
No, but I've gotten a synopsis from you a bunch of times already.
Right.
So I pretty much know what's going on.
Practically a Parasite podcast.
It is.
Sorry for that. I just love the movie.
And yeah, I suppose it's stuck onto your brain and it's sucking out all your mental energy like a parasite.
Right.
Okay.
Maybe it's because
talking about other movies, what are your guys' favorite movies? And then after you've each gotten your say, we'll get to your. Do you have any favorite movies besides Parasite?
Oh my butt.
So I think Tyler wants to go first for this one.
Oh, okay, sure. Infinity War.
Oh, really? That's your favorite?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
What?
I didn't.
You didn't know that?
No, I mean, I didn't expect you to choose like such a recent movie, you know? Usually when people say like, hey, what's your favorite movie? It's always some old movie.
Oh, well, those are boring.
Nice.
And
Nice little summary.
Infinity War just has this incredible character in Thanos, and the way there's this deontological versus consequentialist narrative plays out, and the whole grandness of it, how we've known these characters forever, and
I do suppose it has that history to speak for it, right?
Yeah.
Oh boy. God, see, I'm just gonna answer the nerdy thing when I say my favorite movie. It's probably gonna be if I don't know. It depends on the mood, obviously, right?
All right, but give me free. And if you also get a free buy, or in your case a 2-buy because one is already gone.
Well, Studio Ghibli has so many amazing movies.
Okay, so your favorite movie is Studio Ghibli. Got it.
Well, I mean, I could say that, right? Howl's Moving Castle is amazing for one.
Yes, it is.
It's so good. And what else do we have? I really like the SpongeBob movie. Not the second one, the first one. You know, that's really good. I watch that all the time, and I think it's just such a beautifully contained story with enough like just stupid silliness where I don't have to think too much. And beyond that, God, what's one really artsy movie to make me seem very brooding and serious, huh? Let's see.
I mean, Howl's Moving Castle can be considered a highly artistic movie.
Oh yeah, sure, but whatever.
What else?
That's
a shame.
Oh, the Broly movie is amazing. Dragon Ball Super Broly. You seen that? God,
No,
I mean
I saw the original.
the plot is whatever, and then the story is whatever, and the characters are whatever. But the animation, by God, the animation, it's so good. There you go. Oh God, I named 3 movies, and they're all animated.
You named 2 movies. You named The Castle and you named Dragon Ball, the Broly movie.
I also said SpongeBob, the first SpongeBob movie.
Oh, okay. Why SpongeBob?
Well, it's fun. It's silly. You don't have to think too much. It's just stupid, and it's got enough like stupid jokes you only get as an adult as well.
The one
You know?
with David Hasselhoff in it.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
It's been so long. Okay.
Who are you? I'm David Hasselhoff.
Yeah, that's the best part of the freaking movie. It's the straight look. I mean, wait a second, isn't Keanu Reeves gonna be in the 3rd SpongeBob movie? There you go. They're bringing it back.
Yeah, right.
How many SpongeBob movies is there?
There's 2 right now.
Okay. Way too many is a number because 2 is a number. Imperfect 2. Are you ready to go?
So yeah, first one was Infinity War because it was awesome. Second
Yes,
one,
war is awesome.
I'm gonna go weed with Heck. The
Hold up.
disappearance of what?
Can we please note this time down? Heck was chosen as a favorite movie right now. And I just think it's a really powerful message. Thank
That's
you.
my favorite movie too.
I get where you're coming from. He's got a fascinating life.
No, I don't like Heck at all. I lied.
Jesus Christ, MV, rip my heart out.
No.
Why don't you?
The disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya.
That's a movie?
Yeah. It's the movie of the Haruhi Suzumiya series.
Okay. I thought I
what
only
was
knew the series. So why did you pick that one? Because I can see a few reasons.
Well,
And also for all of our viewers and listeners who aren't weeb trash like us, you might want to give a synopsis.
Well, that's a little complicated because so Haruhi Suzumiya is this teenage girl. It's an anime.
Of course.
There's novels, but in the anime series, The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, it's this really trippy, fun, cool series where this teenage girl has the powers of God, but she doesn't know it.
Of course not.
And it's not anything like stuff happens. It's just I can't even explain it. It's really trippy and it's really awesome and it's abstract and cool characters and it's awesome. But then the disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya is the premise is one day the main character Kyon wakes up and Haruhi is just gone.
Bum bum bum.
And he can't live with it.
Yeah, and then the ball starts rolling, you know.
Because he's her love interest. But so the story is just him trying to find her. And it gets super crazy. There's time travelers, there's aliens. There's a time traveling robot.
Of course.
There's a wizard.
Why wouldn't there be? Of course.
No, there's no wizard. Yeah.
For goodness sakes,
there's stuff. It's really, really interesting. And then I really like the animation, and it was from an era of anime when the more out there series were doing these abstract cuts and they were using their animation in really interesting ways. It's gone downhill from there.
The same time period as Helsing?
Yes. I think it is. Yeah, I think it was early 2000 somewhere. But yeah.
Okay.
So that's one of my movies. The disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya. And then for the third one, I will.
Hold up, you got a drum roll?
I'm
not picking up my drum roll. I'm saying.
I think I'll pick Interstellar.
Interstellar? Isn't that space movie?
I do. am conflicted about Interstellar.
Jesus Christ! The last time I heard about Interstellar, I heard that it was like the most boring thing you could watch.
I don't.
Well,
Oh,
you're the most boring thing you could
Or
watch.
am I thinking of a different movie?
Gravity.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking of Gravity, right? Yeah, of course. Interstellar. Ah, yeah, Interstellar's the cool one. Interstellar's the
Yeah.
like space foldy trippiness, and
Yeah.
Gravity is like we're spinning in space for 90 minutes. That's what it was. Yeah.
That the music was incredible. The sense of wonder that I get from seeing these new planets is freaking mind blowing.
Mhm,
And there's some nice memes from it, which is all you can ask for.
mhm.
Just to clarify, Interstellar was the movie with the marine humor-based AI robot, without spoiling anything.
Yeah, he had like a kind of a square body that kind of like
Yes,
walked.
he had a very interesting way to move.
Yeah,
Okay,
that
that's the
felt
one I'm
Interstellar.
conflicted about.
Okay, it was awesome.
It was an enjoyable watch, I'll give you that.
I mean, it could have been better with the ending,
Mm.
but it was still. I can overlook the flaws because of the good it did. There, those are my 3 movies.
Okay, thank you. Sevi, you
Um,
want to pitch us Parasite again? Because
no,
I
Parasite isn't up there.
It isn't?
No,
See, that's not something I expected.
It's
Now I'm
maybe-
really intrigued.
it's definitely in the top 5, but not in the top 3. But you still have to name your 3 favorite.
Oh, yes, I
movies.
will. After you.
All right.
Where?
It's
Give us yours.
it's actually an impossible question for me to answer.
The top 3
I don't
movies.
I don't have one favorite movie.
Yeah, that's why you're getting free.
My 3 favorite movies. Wow. Probably the first Toy Story,
Okay, why?
Yes, so good.
because I love Toy Story. I love I love all four of them.
You
But
are a toy.
also the fourth one, which was released last year, was still really enjoyable. It was the last one.
What? Is
but,
it concluding the entire saga of these toys?
Not really, but the main character, Woody.
Woody?
Woody, sorry. Yeah, what? Oh, God.
I mean, you're wearing a hoodie.
Woody, of course. Yeah, it's rounding up his story. So, and he's the main character, so it's pretty much.
No, we've spoiled people that he's gonna stay alive
It's
for the
pretty much it.
first 3 movies.
But I won't spoil anything. Yeah.
No.
So yeah, the first Toy Story one, definitely, because I love animated movies, and secondly, it's probably my most favorite animated movie, and so it needs to be up there, and it's the only original one, which is always the best, and so it is with Toy Story.
Okay.
Yeah.
So since you really enjoy animated movies, I can personally also recommend you The Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya and House Moving Castle.
All right. I've never seen them, so
Yes, I
will dive
do
into it.
suggest it.
No, you can
going
only
on.
watch Disappearance if you've watched The Melancholy. So
Oh, yeah.
it's a big investment.
Makes a bit more
Okay,
sense.
move on. Carry on.
Carry on
Going
my
on.
wayward son.
Shut up. No, I don't. Mean
I'll
to,
shut you up.
I don't need to offend.
Oh boy.
The second one is definitely a Harvey Weinstein one. No, I'm just joking. Do you know who Harvey Weinstein is?
I not really know. I don't care for people who are famous.
Right, he's the one filmmaker who has been charged with 25 years of prison for assaulting several women.
Oh, so he's a Hollywood guy.
Yeah.
By that logic, I really like Bill Cosby.
Could you guys stop liking that? Maybe.
Oh god.
I'm remembering a music video now. I'll send it to you guys after the podcast. But yeah, your actual.
No, it's not a Harvey Weinstein one, of course,
No,
because I
that's
despise the guy. Everybody else. No. Probably The Shape of Water, which
Okay.
won Best Picture in 2017, because it is so well done, so well made, so well written, and I love well-written movies and TV shows. It's just it's everything to me, because I'm a writer myself. So yeah, that's what I noticed the most when I'm watching a movie, how well written it is. And The Shape of Water is, I mean, even though the main character doesn't speak at all, so she's
Mute.
There's enough people talking that I can judge that.
Oh, I've got a way better explanation. So the main character has this condition where,
Huh.
and so that's what happens.
Oh, there we go. Oh, sorry, you cut out perfectly.
What?
You cut out perfectly for
No,
that
I
entire
muted
second.
myself. It's a pun.
Oh,
You
all
got
right, here we
it.
go.
Good.
Right, that's the end of this podcast.
Shape of Water, I watched it on a plane, actually, from Thailand to back to Austria last year. And it's such a beautiful and original movie with such a unique idea in it, because it's and not anywhere near realistic. It's not really realistic. No, not at all, actually. But all characters I really like, and that's practically never the case with any movie I've ever I've watched so far. And so it has to be up there, and I was really inspired by it. So it's just by its writing and its originality,
Yes.
originality, and that's the second one.
Okay.
And last but not least, I couldn't think of third. I don't know. I've never given a movie because I used to rate my movies.
Yeah.
Since last November, maybe.
Do you keep a ratings list somewhere?
What?
Do you keep a ratings list somewhere, or is it just in your head?
I do, on my phone and on my laptop.
So you can.
But it's not every movie I've ever seen in my life, so it's hard to know. So it's probably not a movie on my list at the moment.
It could still give you a kickstart though. So if you want to, you can take a moment to scroll through your list.
Yeah, I know that, but it's none of them, I think.
No, it's not because you can find the movie on there, but because you find a trigger that gets you back to the original memory of the movie. Because maybe this movie.
Yeah, I know what
So,
you're saying. I get that, but I don't know. Is there a third one? It isn't Parasite, because there are still things about Parasite I don't like that much. So, and Toy Story and Shape of Water for me are perfect movies.
Okay.
And Parasite isn't. So the third one needs to be perfect, but I can't think of it right now.
What do you think of the Godfather trilogy, or is that a wrong direction?
I'm not the biggest fan of mafia movies.
Okay.
Because they're so long, and I despise long movies, or movies that are too long, because they're long, around 3 hours, I think. So yeah, there's a lot. Sorry, I can't give you a third. There's way too many.
Okay,
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. See, that's one of the movies I've considered picking. So it's definitely up there for me.
Which one? First, second, third?
I don't necessarily differentiate. If I had to pick one, would probably be the first one.
Of course.
Because I don't enjoy those long traveling sequences where nothing happens with Frodo and Sam. They don't really happen that much in the first one. Okay, so you will leave your third spot open, and do you reckon you could give us a movie by the end?
Maybe I will come back to it later.
Yeah, we'll get to your movie by the end of this podcast, and you'll have to give us an answer.
And here's the end. Where's that movie?
Ha! Boom! Got him. Okay, so now you did mention though that you don't enjoy mafia movies because they're so long.
And I know that's a
Wait.
pretty bad reason.
Not necessarily.
I don't like them.
I was in.
It doesn't mean that I don't like them. It just does make them less enjoyable for me.
Yeah, so there has been talk about why don't they just release one big Lord of the Rings movie of all 3 books? Which they obviously could have done, eh? So now, what do you all think about movie length? Is there maybe an ideal length for a movie?
Absolutely.
And is there a standard length?
I can't.
So you will go third because otherwise these poor chaps won't get to talk.
Oh boy.
Excuse you?
I think movies like podcasts should have a nice time limit. Yeah.
Yes. Time limit is whenever you start talking.
I think 90 minutes is the ideal movie time. Like it's not too long, it's not too short.
It seems too short to me. Way too short, actually.
Does it?
Yes.
For me, I feel like, God, okay, how do I say this, right? A lot of movies are like 3 hours long or something, seem to drone on forever for me, not really. I don't know. It's just me and movies, right? I'm not very easily able to attach myself to movie characters or actors, as I am to book characters or stuff like that. So when I watch movies, 1 hour is way too short for me to even, remotely care about the characters. 1 hour and 30 minutes is long enough to still hold my interest. And 3 hours is just like, all right, where's the end? Get me?
Uh,
Hmm?
more or less.
There you go. Right. So yeah, 90 minutes. I think that's a good, healthy length. What about you, MP?
I mean, no, I don't think there is a time limit. It depends on the film because, if I had a 3-hour crime documentary, no, those could be nice. If I had a 3-hour thriller, that would not be good at all. But I've watched Infinity War 6 times, and it's 2
Oh.
hours and 40 minutes.
Christ, MP, what?
I'm gonna do it another one. I'm gonna watch it again tonight because
What?
Fight you.
Wait, is it on Disney
Yeah.
Plus?
Yes.
Oh,
But I own
yikes!
it
I can watch
also.
it too.
I
Huh.
bought it. So.
Oh,
So
no.
it depends on the movie for me. I mean, the industry has pretty much decided like 1 to 2 hours is a good length, but I mean, it depends on the film for me.
Okay. For me, it's mostly 2 hours, maybe 3 hours. It's a really good one because I feel like most movies don't get enough time, enough chances to explore all of their characters' interactions. And I'd love to see more of those things and more plot lines, how they evolve. And that in a 90-minute movie, you just don't get enough time for all of that.
Typically,
ahead.
yeah.
Sevi.
That's exactly the reason why I like movies more than better than TV shows, because
characters don't get to develop.
I love TV shows as well. They got a lot of benefits compared to movies, but it just takes them so long, so many years to come to the result we all want to know. Beginning with the first episode.
I'll have to say that it strongly depends on the series.
Actually,
Yeah,
I think there is a very clear pattern where TV shows do just like to put the important stuff at the end. It's like every episode is just like a generic, like, okay, it could be any episode because they don't know what order you're watching it in. If you're watching it randomly on TV, you could be tuning into any episode, and then if there's some big important plot thing going on, you won't know what's happening, right? So I think that's why they kind of spread out the plot a little bit, and then like maybe the last 2 episodes of the season will be like the big twisty ones where you finally get the answers you want. Jesus Christ, if you want an example, it's definitely Merlin. You guys ever heard of Merlin?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the actors are fantastic. The story is for the first season or 2, it's really good. And then you've got like 4 more other seasons where nothing happens except at the end, where it's like, the bad guy got away again. Oh yeah, shucks, And then the whole thing drags on for another season, and it takes the enjoyment out of it so much because you're just sitting there
Why?
and you want all these answers. Yeah, MP? Whoa, you want me to explain some more?
No, you were just cutting out for the whole thing.
Oh, for frick's sake.
I was getting him perfectly clear.
Oh, MP, the tables have turned.
Shame.
Well, the point is, right? Because Merlin restricted the plot, the actual answers to the last 2 episodes, and kept everything else so light and so like, okay, whatever, it's just an episode. It ruined the show, because they could have had so much development, so much freaking change, and it just And in movies, you only have that very limited time span, so I guess there's more pressure to be like, all right, let's show our characters developing, snap, go.
I'm getting that the problem you have is more so filler episodes, which are episodes that don't contribute to the main plot, don't give us anything new. Because imagine if a series consisted of, let's say, 12 episodes and 5 seasons, and each of these episodes developed characters and furthered plot lines. Would you not be enjoying that?
Yeah, of course, right? But then that would entail that every episode does have some plot relevance, right? In Merlin, it's just like, hey, look at this thing happening. Oh, never mind. See ya. It's over now.
I can only think of one TV show that does what you just said. So in every single episode,
Mhm.
they develop the worst characters and the story, and that's Breaking Bad for me. And it's just the greatest TV show that's ever been on television. It's just you all should absolutely watch it
It's a
because
strong word.
no, it absolutely is. I'm most certain of it. You all should watch it if you haven't yet, because it's just a masterpiece and it's perfect. It doesn't have any bad scenes, any bad episodes, any bad performances. It's just all around perfect.
I will vehemently disagree. There is
You
certainly a
haven't
lot of bad scenes as well as bad episodes because those things are personal. If you're telling people it is flawless and then they watch it and find flaws, they're going to be disappointed and put
You
off.
haven't seen it.
No, I'm not honest here.
Oh,
All right.
There will be people and there will be scenes
Of
and there will
course,
be
but
episodes.
for me personally, I'm not
Yes,
speaking.
but-
I'm not talking for the whole for all people, for everyone.
I know. I just if people want to watch Breaking Bad, and they should watch Breaking Bad according to you. I'll trust you on
Yes.
this.
And to all the
I
ranking.
suggest it's better to pitch it to them as something that is very good, but even though it has flaws, and not to tell them that it's this unbeatable masterpiece.
For me, it is.
It is for you. If you
Well-
tell people it is, then they go in with the expectation of getting the very same result you do. Which means if they ever get something different, if they ever notice a mistake, they're going to be incredibly disappointed and might even drop the entire show.
They won't find
incredibly disappointed. Not just slightly disappointed.
No,
Incredibly. They might hate you
Their
forever.
been upheld and then dropped.
Yeah, I won't. Yeah, okay.
They might want to murder you.
Jesus Christ. This is escalating.
More people.
You're pitching it to everyone.
Yeah, to 3 people. Wow.
Well, you're pitching it to everyone who's listening to this podcast.
2
Right.
people.
Right. 10 people.
Oh yeah, all right. To 3 people. Fair point. It is.
No, Paul, you don't understand. You haven't watched the show. You can't judge it. It's
I can certainly judge
No,
it
you
based.
can't.
Yes, I can.
okay. You can't.
No, you can't.
We'll discuss this afterwards.
No. If you haven't seen it yet, then you can't judge it.
I will love to discuss this with you
No,
afterwards.
I
No.
can't let this go. Sorry.
You don't need to let it go.
I
Just
gave-
More!
for the sake of this podcast, we will not be having this discussion.
Mortal Kombat!
Yeah, I get your point, and I agree with you. I'm just wording it differently, which is what I'd love to talk about after we get the time.
All right.
Thank you. Talking about after we get the time, we've talked about what makes series and films great. And I would actually have to say we've talked about everything I really wanted to mention in this podcast so far. Is there topics which you've felt, except for how great Breaking Bad and Parasite are, that we should touch upon more?
I haven't just said that, but okay.
No.
Do we have any time left? Or
We could go on for another 30 minutes, would be a new episode. And otherwise, we'll be trying to wrap it up here.
I mean, there have been several more questions you
Yes, they have.
sent me, and it's a shame that we didn't touch on them.
Oh, if you feel like any of those are really important and want
I
to
don't
talk
know.
about
I'm
them,
just feeling a little bit ashamed and embarrassed because I talked so much about Parasite and not so much about Breaking Bad, but so much about Parasite and not about other important things about movies.
no need.
Wait, yeah.
Don't worry about it.
We had an episode where I think I went on for like 2 hours about a couple books. So
Oh yeah, right. What was it? The light
worry about
something?
the Lightbringer
Lightbringer.
series
Lightbringer, yeah.
and the Stormlight Archive.
Very good, because you're an expert. If you're passionate about it, that means
I'm
it is.
I'm not an expert. I would never consider myself as an expert.
Yeah,
do.
most experts don't.
I don't really know why you invited me to the podcast, to be honest, because I'm not an expert.
God, Impy, cut this part out. Cut it together so he says, I am an expert.
For the most expertise so far, you've done the preparation, and I can assure you there's probably like 2 to 5 people in the friend group who are on your level of expertise. I just didn't think of those. So out of those, I could have immediately thought of off the top of my head. I knew you were very interested in films, and that's why you're here.
Right. Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
So is there any high important topic which we haven't talked about?
What's something you're really interested in? Yeah.
Oh yes, we haven't talked about anything personal. Yes, we have.
We have. Breaking Bad is
Yeah.
personal to me.
Yes, and we will
Yeah,
talk about it.
SpongeBob
Just
is my favorite childhood movie. How dare you, Summer?
And so, you guys, what do you want to talk about? Otherwise, we're just about wrapping it up
I
here.
mean, the pizza is.
I want to talk about Infinity War. Gosh dang it.
Well,
It's
shucks.
not enough. I must talk about it.
Look,
I'm joking.
in our art episode, I'll eventually put in a few episodes where we can talk about our favorite things, and that's going to be really fun for all of us because we each get an episode or maybe 2 episodes to rant on and on about them and pitch those.
Yeah.
But not now,
I like it.
because time is a thing.
That's true.
Agreed.
Right. So in this case, I think we have been hopefully giving a great deal of information. And I also really enjoyed this episode. It's been quite fun discussing this with somebody new, somebody with your level of expertise. And no, even if you don't consider yourself an expert, I still do. And so there is one more practice which we're doing at the end of each episode. And I want this to be spontaneous, so I didn't tell you anything about it.
All right.
And that is, we have a question for all of our listeners, which I'd like them to think about or to answer in regards to today's episode.
Wait, we're
Come
not doing the ritual murdering this time?
Yeah, I mean, I have the knife right here.
Come up with one question that entails something we've talked about today, or that's derived from it, and which you believe everyone would benefit from.
I mean, you don't
I
have
mean,
to think that hard about it.
Sure.
can't-
Tyler doesn't have anything to do anyway, so he can cut it out.
Well, doesn't necessarily have to be a question.
You can give me a statement, and I'll turn it into a question.
Just add a question mark at the end. It's easy enough.
Yeah, perfect.
Yes. No. Those are the
it doesn't-
questions.
Oh my God.
Don't think too hard about it, because 2 viewers doesn't
Right.
really matter. But
But
it's
I
just a
won't-
fun thing.
I don't want to sound, I don't know, like an amateur. If I ask something like, I don't know, what's your favorite movie? That's just disgusting.
Yes, because we certainly
agree.
didn't ask you this or talk about our favorite films during this episode. No, it's amateur stuff.
Explain to us in a 60-page essay why your favorite movie is better than Summer's favorite movie.
Ended like a thesis.
Better than Parasite. I
Jesus.
should watch it, by the way.
I think I'll have to host a movie night eventually, or you'll do.
Yeah,
You will.
we absolutely will.
Yeah.
Now we have time. No, not
You
really.
have time. Got to write
don't.
20 pages of homework till Tuesday.
For physics. Oh God.
Statement also works.
Yeah. What would the audience say? What makes, to those who have actually watched many movies over the years, what makes foreign movies better than Hollywood ones?
Oh yes, I would like to take this question and twist it a bit. What makes a movie good in your opinion?
Oh, well,
Would-
that's basic
We've already had
again.
Or-
We've
Come on.
discussed it.
Are you
No, I would like for everyone else to respond their own takes because we probably have.
Right.
So
Well-
this question is going to be a two-parter, and Nimpi is going to talk for me. So go ahead.
I was gonna say we'll just do both questions, and I'll put both questions in the description, and just say, hey, answer whichever one, and inevitably, no one will answer Summer's question.
Yes, obviously not, because my question goes so deep, it's going to answer the people's questions instead of being answered itself. So the first question is, what do you personally believe makes a movie good? What is a good movie? And the second one, why are foreign movies, why are new movies from outside America so much better than Hollywood movies? For example, Infinity War, which no one likes.
Ha! I'm gonna
All
kill
right.
you.
Oh, not better.
No,
Sorry.
but if people think that, or
Okay.
there are certain movies that are foreign movies that are better than Hollywood ones, but usually people just know about the Hollywood movies, unfortunately, because there are so many great movies out there
So it would be much rather.
out of Hollywood.
So would it be rather about those foreign movies, or would you like to formulate the question yourself because you are articulate?
I don't know, because Parasite has won Best Picture and so, and it was the first foreign movie to have ever done so. Why do you think that is? Why do you think it took that long to crown a foreign movie to be best picture?
Yes, that's a good one. Why does Hollywood have a chokehold on the Oscars?
The Oscars have been awarded nearly 100 times now, so it took very long.
It did.
You
Having said,
know, Americans.
thank you
Right,
guys.
MP?
I hope you've had fun listening to this. I hope you've learned something new. I hope you've heard something that you can use for
Very
yourself. And have a lovely evening.